hate to see women going crazy with mood swings and painful periods. And many women are on the verge of menopause, dreading it because they're struggling with weight gain, night sweats, moodiness, and fatigue. I know that they wish there was a more balanced approach to dealing with symptoms, but they just don't know how to approach it. In this video, I'll share 4 little-known facts about perimenopause and menopause from an integrative medical approach. The conventional approach to dealing with many hormonal issues that are associated with perimenopause and menopause is usually a grin and bear it, or an antidepressant prescription, or straight to hormone replacement therapy, or HRT. HRT is used for both menopause and perimenopause to try to manage the short-term symptoms like skin issues, hot flashes, irregular or painful periods, or the mood swings that go along with it. So often, women in their 40s and even in late 30s are dealing with perimenopause and they have no idea. While most women know what menopause is, they've never heard of perimenopause. So when they complain about their symptoms to their family and friends, or even to their doctor, they often hear things like, "Stop overreacting," or "Your acne is from your stress," or "If your mom had issues, you probably will too." Most conventional doctors and even OB-GYNs never talk about perimenopause and don't attach much importance to it, but they should because it's a hormonal change consistent with the decline of progesterone that typically happens about 10 or more years before menopause, and we're even seeing it in women in their 30s. This is a problem because progesterone must be in balance with estrogen, and in this phase, progesterone starts to decline before estrogen. So many women, no matter what stage they're in, are experiencing hormonal fallout. With very low levels of progesterone and higher levels of estrogen, also known as estrogen dominance, this means that the onset of symptoms and potentially higher risk for breast cancer. So if you're on the brink of menopause, your doctor may run some tests to understand your symptoms, which can be very confusing because the results may be normal, yet things are so definitely changing. They also may say, "There's no way you're going through menopause yet because your estrogen is fine and you're still having your period." But the truth is, many women need a little help detoxing their estrogen, and this can be due to stress, genetics, and another number of factors which most conventionally trained doctors don't address at all. And what's worse is that many women just go on birth control pills or hormone replacement in hopes of lessening their symptoms. But those are generally higher doses of estrogen when they're already high in estrogen in the first place. Progesterone imbalances are a huge issue for many women, and I see it all the time in my practice. Normally, conventionally trained doctors only look at estrogen, not realizing that it's the buildup of estrogen and the decline of progesterone in your body that can cause many of these symptoms, and this also increases your breast cancer risk. That's why it's so disconcerting when estrogen replacement is used so freely. This is why it's important to work with a practitioner who knows how to do the more comprehensive hormone testing to see what's really happening with your progesterone levels and also what other factors can be causing your estrogen dominance, like maybe your gut health or your adrenals. Women who I see in my practice with estrogen dominance tend to gain weight, which is a big frustration. Many of them tell me, "I've never had a weight problem until I hit 45, and they can't figure out why, and their doctor may be saying, 'Oh, it's just a sign of getting older.'" But oftentimes it has nothing to do with your age. In fact, I see it in younger women who are estrogen dominant as well. In both cases, they end up in a vicious cycle where the estrogen dominance creates weight gain. The weight gain causes you to store more estrogen and fat called adipose tissue. So what's important to keep in mind is that the approach has to be twofold. We first take a deeper look at hormone imbalance, but at the same time we also examine other areas that can be creating issues with estrogen, like your gut health, your adrenals, and toxic load, so that we have a more thorough approach to the estrogen-progesterone balance. To go deeper on the topic of perimenopause and menopause, register for my free video series on rebalancing hormones naturally. Simply click the link next to this video.